Play games, Oxymoron.
It's coming.
That song again.
Is it?
It's Hella.
Yes, the source of the darkness. It's coming. This is your moment.
Великан.
I'm sorry. I can't watch this.
What are you doing? You're showing weakness. You're not a warrior. You're a disgrace. The gods will punish you for this. Pick up the sword. Pick it up. Fight the darkness. Fight it. Get up. Get up. Get up and fight.
Охренеть! Меч сломали тебе, дама.
Hell is reaching deep inside of her. Stormy seas and lost souls. She's dreamt of this before. They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake, and we only see what our inner eye creates for us? Is this what hell is? A world shaped by SENUA'S nightmares. Maybe that's why people feared seeing the world through her eyes. Because if you believe that SENUA'S reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
You failed the gods. You're pathetic. Rotten. Cursed. What were you thinking? Did you really think you could win? How stupid can you be?
So stupid.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
The shadow.
Look at you. A warrior. Worthless. Weak. Pathetic. Go on. Feel sorry for yourself, because there's no one left to do that for you.
Everywhere. What's that?
Take it. If you're too much of a coward to fight, then end the suffering. Broken and lost. Just like your soul.
Come on. There.
Все понятно. Девка психанула.
Why go on when you give everything and face that which torments you, only to find that it is worse than you could have imagined? Why go on? Is it really so weak to ask this? Or are we just so afraid of the honest answer that we do not dare pose the question? Sometimes the answer lies in a memory, a feeling, a song.
It's not real. It's true. It's not real. Listen to it.
Don't give up.
Did it? It's
Not like this.
It's not real. It is real. It's a trick. Don't trust it. Maybe you're already dead.
Who are you?
You still believe in yourself.
No, it's not. It's a trick. She knows it's him. It's a trick. He's already dead. You know it's him. He can't be here. It's impossible.
Come to me. Please.
The light. Go towards the light. It's him. There he is. It can't be him. It's just a trick. It's in your mind. No, he's here. It's in your mind. It's real. It's happening. Go towards it.
Да, покалечили девочку, девчоночку. Так, что там у нас? Нет ничего интересного.
There it is. You're imagining things. It's still him. He's gone. You must go slow. How could you? Keep going. How could you? Keep going. Ignore the pain. I told you it was to trick you. I told you. Where are you going? See, there's nothing to follow. Come on.
Давай, давай, бегом.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
It's already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you. It's in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind.
There he was. The lone figure of a boy. Swordplay under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him. The gloom lifted. For the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Так, все понятно. Интересно, что в этой пещере? Вроде бы закрыто все. Решетку ставит. Нет, никуда не идет. Угу. Не пускает нас туда. Интересно, здесь корабли разбиты. Сюда наверх еще есть дорога. Сейчас посмотрим. Угу. Еще что-то там написано.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens.
Так, дверь не открывается, да? Корабль вижу. Так, вот. Что здесь? Так, ну ладно. Дверь нам не открывают. Там корабль какой-то. Ну ладно, тогда выходим отсюда. Все, пойдем отсюда. Все ясно. Нас сюда не пустят. Да, где подлечиться бы еще? Было бы здорово. А то так сильно медленно находит вообще. Пещера еще одна какая-то, не пойму. И тут развилка есть. Налево и направо и прямо.
As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
Новый план. Так, ясно. Так, а что там прямо за пещера? Сейчас посмотрим. Пускает нас туда, в эту пещеру. Или это просто по приколу сделано? Нет, это просто бутафория небольшая. Так, ладно. Пойдем дальше прямо тогда. Ага. Блин, ну подлечиться же мы должны. Сколько мы будем еще ходить?
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance. wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. But luck is not on their side. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
No, it's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. Do you really think it's real?
You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick.
You're deluded.
Where are you going?
Where is she going?
What is she following?
You can't even fight. It's just deception.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one?
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are. But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
Won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, man. I promise.
Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he there? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
Ясно. Этот столбик читается, интересно. Угу.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay.
Так, еще один столбик есть. Сейчас посмотрим, что он расскажет нам. И пойдем через воду, наверное, да? Сейчас посмотрим.
And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram.
Ясно. Пойдем. Меч нам не дают? Блин, не дают. Бери скорей.
Its name is Gram. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gram by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard. Go to the shard. What's the shard? Find it. It's the metal runestones. It's in front of you.
Все понятно, не дают нам просто так.
You need that sword. Go to the shard. Find the shards.
Вот такие они сякие, а.
Where is it? Find it. There it is. Focus. There's the shard. Focus. Focus. Use your eyes. Look. Get closer. What can you see? Go to it. It's not safe. Don't go near it. Move closer. Go. Come on. What can you see? It's in your mind. You can see.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good, and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
Ни хрена себе. Меч мне не отдали, да? Нормально.
Bridge. You've come this far, but the bridge is broken. There's no way you can fix it. What do you do now, Sam?
Сынова. Не прыгаешь ты туда, да, Зань? Ладно, пойдем по этой стороне. Угу. Так лучше, да. Мост есть. И тут есть. Ясно. Все понятно.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Baldur dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Baldur's mother makes everything in the world, fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Dillion is there. Don't forget. You can feel it. You need the runes to fight Dillion. You need Dillion. He's waiting for you. He always said he's close. He loves you. Calling you. Dillion. Dillion, we're here. Dillion. We're nearly here. She can't. Open the gate. It's locked. Try harder. She can't. Again, she can't. She will.
Сейчас посмотрим с этой стороны.
The gate is open. Go through the gate. Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it. What's behind the gate? Where will it take you? It's not safe. He led you astray. You should have listened to your father when you had the chance. Why didn't you listen to me? This love has tortured you, and it tortures Dillion. There he is. There he is. What are you waiting for? Quick, find a way. Find him. Go through before he disappears. Dillion, don't lose him. Too many times. You've always let him disappear. Where is he? Where's he gone? We're in the wrong world. He's not here. She's in the wrong world. He's not. Oh, he's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world. The dark world.
The world once seemed so
Дом
simple.
какой-то.
Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
Where's the room? Where's the room? Where's the room? She wants to open the door.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
He was kind to her.
Сейчас поищем. Наверх поднимемся, посмотрим.
You can't go up
You
there.
can't go up
Not
there.
in this world.
No, not in this.
Ясно.
You
Закрыто.
can't. He's the reason she's alive at all. Senua, you've got it.
Угу. Тень нашли.
Why isn't he here?
He's gone.
He's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
He's in the other world.
The dark world.
Without you. He didn't believe that she was cursed.
He saved you when everyone else turned their backs.
Тоже закрыто, да? Ясно, тоже закрыто. Хорошо.
He was the only one that really loved her.
He did love her.
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse.
He loved her so much.
Здесь ничего нет. Нет, не пропускает пока что. Ладно. Тогда выходим отсюда. Через все врата и смотрим еще раз в маску.
He looked.
Так, а там открылось, я что-то не посмотрела. Да, но тут замок, да. Тут открылось, но тут замок. Надо посмотреть еще раз маску. Ой! Ты на меня смотришь? Ты, интересно, открыл мне или нет? Ага. Ага. Тут закрыл, понятно. А тут?
She thought she had light within her. She is pure darkness.
Ого, тут все развалено.
There he is. Where are you taking him? He's up there. How do you get up there? There's a way. Doesn't know. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there. She'll find the way.
Так, сделали. Так, ладно. Лестницу мы сделали. Что тут у нас? Надпись какая-то осталась.
Loki makes a dot out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, Here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands.
Your curse has
And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
She should have listened to her father. Why didn't she listen to her father? She thought she could defy him.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers
Years had
burst.
passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior.
Do you know? Was it worth it?
Friendship turned to love,
He doesn't deserve to be dead.
but the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
You kill the things you love with your curse. You kill the things that are most precious to you. You deserve this. Curse strangled you just like it strangled him.
Ну, ничего себе тут. Тут еще дорога есть, ладно.
They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you. What if these trials mean nothing?
Ясно. Пойдем маски открывать.
Letting this get in the way if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle.
Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves.
She destroys the things she loves.
He saw who she was. He saw who she really was. He saw the warrior.
Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way he felt?
Нашла. Так, еще один знак остался.
What does she think she's doing? You're special. She thinks she
They mean nothing.
special.
Так, ну ладно, здесь больше ничего нет. Пойдем наверх.
The gods are just toying. What if the gods are laughing?
Messing with her
It wouldn't be this.
first time. He saved you. He saved you. Loves you. You owe him his
Ну, открывай. Молодец, хорошая девочка. Так, ладно. Теперь давай прочитаем здесь.
He didn't believe that she was cursed. He saved you when everyone else turned their back.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they found in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
Так, а что за дверь вот эта? Блин, она закрыта. Ясно.
He saw that she was strong.
Your love because he believed in you.
Блин.
You broke him. You killed him.
He couldn't see the darkness within you.
Обойдем.
You had that loved you. You squashed it, strangled it, flattened it. The curse cannot be undone.
Отлично.
You have no chance of love now. Nobody will love you again. Ever again. You can.
Does it feel like to be in love?
Так, с той стороны понятно. Все ясно.
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down and turned these bonds to iron.
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing?
Every trial is pointless, and there's another way.
Why did you think you could make this work?
You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
Everywhere.
But what if they're not real?
What if they don't actually make sense?
What if they're a trick?
The gods were lying.
If you think it makes sense, but really the gods are
Так,
playing.
что дальше?
It makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't make sense in the worlds.
The gods are confused, but it doesn't mean anything.
You can't read this
Нифига
language.
себе.
You don't understand.
Пойдем по
Bell was right.
лицо сделаем сначала.
Wasting time.
You're cursed. You'll never succeed. So, quicker.
Curse.
Now the darkness is swallowing you both.
А, где разрушенный. Нет, давай его восстановим. И пойдем сходим назад. Ясно.
Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves.
Давай восстановим.
She destroys the things she loves.
И пойдем вниз. Мгм. Так лучше. Тут закрыто. Надо, значит, здесь разрушить.
You broke it. You can come see darkness. Be quick.
Dillion never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see,
Very careful.
and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillion's arms,
Narrow bridge.
learned to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Go to him. Go to him.
That's it.
Quicker.
Quicker.
Quicker.